I know that that's probably going to bring the audio back, but I wanted to try to test out this microphone. Um, Let me see if I could figure out how to get this wireless mic to work with a live stream. Uh, yeah, I know you can hear me now, but I wanted to use this new wireless setup for a live stream, but maybe I have to do it. I got my mic and everything disconnected. I mean, my Mac and everything disconnected. So I'm taking care of some stuff in the office. But this wireless mic has a two piece. So turn it up some. I want to actually test out this mic. So I'm going to plug in the lav mic and tell me if you can hear me better with the lav mic. Tell me if you can hear the lav mic. All right. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you should be able to hear something. Let me see here. How's the is there any audio now? Did the audio come back when I plugged in that lav mic? Audio? Anything? It's better, much clearer, better now, sounds the same. Yeah, I'm testing out this mic. Let me see if I can turn on the grab the pixel real quick and test out the audio. Sounds better? Okay, let me I'm just gonna test this out real quick. All right, so yeah, it definitely sounds a little bit better. It's kind of low, but it definitely sounds better. All right, yeah, I can tell it sounds low. So that's a matter of, I can adjust the microphone to like put it like right here, I guess. I don't know. Um Testing 1, 2, 3. Big Trenton is in the house. What's going on? um, yeah. I'm also testing out the studio with YouTube as well. I'm testing out the studio with YouTube as well. So I'm not actually using the YouTube app, which is why you probably um, this is why you probably can see this in 1080p. I'm using the actual YouTube studio, which um, allows me to shoot in 1080p. I don't know if you guys are going to start using the YouTube Studio, but it allows you to shoot in 1080p, and I think it's pretty cool. But all these tests are going on, but I still want to talk about the Galaxy S20 Ultra, and I think that's an important factor of today's smartphone world. People are going to be hyped about that phone, and as well they should be. They spend a lot of money on it. So the wireless mic though, it sounds good when I'm recording audio. I just wanted to test it out um, to see how it would be with a live stream. But that's something I have to work on. I have to test it because I'm on my Chromebook, my Pixelbook Go, and I'm using a different IO and everything. I got a camera plugged in and things like that. I was trying to test stuff out. You got to test out this equipment. So hi everybody who's able to join in. How's everybody doing? Um, S20 Ultra. So I passed on the S20 Ultra. I originally was going to get the S20 Ultra, and I was placing the order, and I just wasn't feeling it, man. I just wasn't feeling it. I backed out on it. It's not even about the money at this point for me. It's about, not to say that I'm just balling out of control, but I'm just saying that's something that is not going to change, folks. The pricing of these phones are not going down. But here's something I want to point out, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think I'm pretty much on point with this one. And let me take my glasses off so you can see my eyes. I think I'm on point with this one. I think this is a pretty accurate statement. Nobody is actually coming out of pocket paying $1,400 for the U Ultra or the S20 Ultra. I don't think anybody has done that. Everybody's doing trade-ins. So if you are the one sole person who paid $1,400 for theirs, shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'll give you a stack of cases. Because nobody's doing that. Everybody's doing trade-ins and taking the credit from old devices, unless you're selling other devices and putting it all toward, but most people probably are not doing that. So I don't think there's anybody out there who paid $1,400. Tech Love and Mom, I see everybody in the stream. I see you guys, man. I don't think there's anybody out there in their right mind that came out of pocket and paid $1,400. I don't think anybody has done that. Eric said he got his for free. Nice, man. Coming up. I see. Um, but hey, somebody asked me, Jay, why didn't you get a review unit? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not emailing and begging people to get a review unit. I can't do it. It's not my style. So I'm just not gonna do it. If I want it, I gotta buy it. That's what it is. That's how it is sometimes in the tech world. You gotta buy it. So the reason I passed on the S20 Ultra is because the Galaxy Note 10 Plus is still the king of phones to me. When it comes to like the Samsung phones, I think the Galaxy Note 10 Plus is by far one of the best phones that they offer. Even though the S20 Ultra is new, that doesn't mean anything. I'm getting the same software. I'm getting, you know what I'm saying? It's not that big of a difference in experience, but I know that most of us who are techies want to experience the latest and greatest, quote, air quotes, yeah. So I think the majority of everybody out here, they're doing trade-ins, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. I encourage you to do a trade-in. I don't want people to spend 1,400 bucks on a phone because it's totally not worth it. So, at least in my opinion, it's totally not worth it. I did it for the Z Flip because remember I couldn't get my trade-in value that I wanted, so I paid 1,400 bucks for that phone. And I went on record and told you, don't do what I do. Don't buy this phone. It's not worth 1,400 bucks. Phones that are 500 or less, majority of them are totally worth it. But a lot of people are getting theirs. A lot of people got theirs yesterday. A lot of people got theirs today. Some people are getting them tomorrow. The farthest I'm willing to stretch is to get the S20. Now I've been saying that since day one. The S20 Ultra. I'm just not impressed with this 100 times zoom. Yes, I used it, and ultimately, when you put it next to my Galaxy Note 10 Plus, it's not that much difference. It's not something that's going to wow you. Like somebody explained to me. Um, what's so great about the Ultra compared to the Note 10 Plus? I think the Note 10 Plus, the only thing that's different is the cameras. And even those are not going to just blow the Galaxy Note 10 Plus out of the water. It's not going to happen. So a lot of people are pretty much saying, hey, um, the Ultra has the best cameras. And there's a few people, I think I'm hearing this right. There's a few people that are saying that the cameras aren't even that impressive, you know. But honestly, of all the videos that have come out, I haven't watched any reviews. I clicked on Tech King Mike's new channel today. If you haven't subscribed to his new channel, hit him up. John Moore, and I see you in the house, man. If you haven't uh, subscribed to Tech King Mike's new channel, it's straight up Tech King Mike. He's doing two channels now. Um, I think it's a good thing. You should click over there. It's going to be just cell phone reviews and stuff like that. So I'm more excited about somebody beat me to it in the comments. I'm actually more shout out. I'm going to shout you out because you said what I was getting ready to say. Barry Ellerby. Ellerby. I'm more excited about the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II than I am about the S20 Ultra, which in turn means I'm more excited about that phone than any of the Ultras or the S20s because people could sleep on it all they want to, and you can keep on trashing people, trashing the other companies. But to me, you're just brainwashed if you're not willing to open up your mind to other devices. I'm more excited about and this is gonna sound crazy coming from me, but I'm more excited about the iPhone coming up, and more excited about the Surface Duo coming up, and I'm way more excited about the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. That phone is gonna be nice. But people talk about specs, but when it comes to phones, they don't want to talk about specs that phones that outspec the Galaxy S20. They don't want to talk about that. There's plenty of phones out there that technically outspec the Galaxy S20 devices. And hey, it is what it is, but specs only mean so much. It's about how you feel about the phone you bought, which is why I think I titled this "How do you like your Yeah, do you like your S20 Ultra?" Dang, I got a downvote already, man. Appreciate you coming through, hater. But I guess I don't know. It doesn't affect me anymore. But I think LG V60 is going to be very impressive. There are a ton of phones, and listen, folks, I'm not making a stream to trash the S20 Ultra. I just got done telling you I plan on getting the S20, but I actually have no. I didn't do it. I canceled all the pre-orders, and I plan on just if I could walk now. When I went into the Best Buy the other day, because I'm actually paying full cost for it, obviously, but I'm not going to get the Ultra. I'm just going to trade in a phone, like one of my iPhones, and get a couple $100 off. This year, I'm not giving up my iPhone, my expensive iPhones. I'm keeping. I'm not doing that. So I'm not gonna take that huge hit. I'd rather give up the iPhone 6s, which they're giving me $200 for, and I only paid $100 brand new. So I think it's a trade-in thing for me, just like most of the people out there who didn't get them free. I encourage you to trade in. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like I'm not willing to play that game anymore. Like I had shot this video. You know what I'm saying? No military discounts on the S2. I don't like that a lot of places don't have military discounts, but it's nothing I can do about that. Nobody forced me to go in the military. Nobody forced me to go join during the war. Nobody forced me to do any of that stuff. It was a conscious choice that I wanted to do to try to bring something right to society instead of adding negativity to society. That's a personal choice. But I say to, I just don't see the gains in the better device in the S20 devices. And this could be said about the S10 from the S9 and so on and so on. It's totally true. Cameras are one of the main things that people want, but come on now, Samsung's cameras have greatly improved. And so you telling me that the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus is now irrelevant? Impossible. Nah. And people who trade in their Note 10 Plus for S20, hey, that's on you. But I would never trade in a Note 10 Plus for an S20 Ultra or an S20 Plus or an S20. No way. You're handing away a flawless device, in my opinion. Flawless device. It's total boss mode. So I don't feel like that's a good trade in to me. Grab an old iPhone or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or do what you want to do, but my way of thinking is there's absolutely no way that I would trade in a Note 10 Plus for an S20 Ultra, and I've said that before. So the most I'm gonna do possibly is an old iPhone for $200, and that's it. And I just have to pay the other $799 because I think Eric said it earlier. Wait 90 days or something like that. If you do, I think I saw that from. I think that was Eric. If you wait a little bit, um, there's Eric right. He just said there's no way he would trade in a Note 10 for this. I mean, not even from so much a creative standpoint, just a person. Why would you give up this for the Ultra? I don't get it. I mean, if you got a Note 8 or something like that, then yeah, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? That's okay. Trade in your those older notes. But even the Note 9 is actually still boss. You know what I mean? So technically T said his Note 10 Plus is gone. Hey, everybody has a personal choice, you know what I'm saying? L Boogie, what's going on? Sean, I see you in here, a couple people in here. Um, but I personally wouldn't do it, man. Kenny himself, what's up, E? Android phones, I don't think Android phones so much, all Android phones lose their value in response to where did it go? Versatile. I don't think all Android phones lose their value. I just think the OEMs are doing it wrong. To me, when a phone comes out and you instantly start offering a discount of half off, it tells me, and I said this before, man. What's going on, Harvest Car? What's going on? I see you, man. Appreciate the super chat. I've said it before that when you start dropping the price on devices out the gate, you're telling society my phones aren't worth jack. And so now you've created this mindset, in my personal humble opinion, you've created a mindset that, okay, I don't believe in my own products. And so as a person buying the product, why would I even believe in it either? Why do I even think it's good? And I feel like this is where Apple companies like Apple win. They're telling you um, that their products are worth it and they're standing by it. And fact is, people are buying it. It's just what it is. Not just Apple. Huawei is another company that their phones just don't really drop in value over time. They maintain. You know what I mean? So uh, Jiro says, Jay, do you think the new Note will have the 100 times zoom? It probably will, based on what I'm saying, what they got going on right now. Let me see here. Eric says the Note 10 Plus is better than the Galaxy S20. He's got them both. He tested them out. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's and that's not even just from a creative standpoint. It's just I just wouldn't give up. If now I say it like this: if the Note 10 Plus was sitting next to the Ultra and they were the same price, I'm gonna pick the Note 10 Plus still. some people don't use the Note 10 Pluses, the S Pens, but I think you're missing out if you get a Note. And no, I'm gonna answer that question in a moment. I see it in the chat. Put your questions down if you want me to answer your question. I'll try to get to it. But I got to get to this question now. It says, would you trade your Pixel 4 XL for an Ultra? No, no way. And it has nothing to do with Team Pixel. I mean, I just feel like certain cameras just win and certain cameras don't. There are just phones out there that the software is a solid performing software on Pixel devices. I don't pay attention to any of what the media says about that phone. This phone is a flop. This phone is good. This phone is bad. It doesn't matter what they're saying. I got my own set of eyes and I got my own experiences that I want to share with the world. So I'm going to go on what I think. There's plenty of times where I make comments on the Pixel and people say, "Oh man, you just saying that because you like the Pixel." No, no, no. I mean, think about where you sit and where I sit. You haven't walked in these shoes. You don't have as many phones I have. You haven't had the interactions that I have with the tech world. And so I'm telling you, I can only be as honest as I could be. I can't force you to believe what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I feel like the Pixel 4 XL, people were already, and the reason that people bring up the Pixel 4 XL, let's just keep it 100 here, is because it's got some of the best cameras out there. It takes some of the best photos. Even video is up to par right now. So you can deny that all you want to, whoever you are, but you can't sleep on what's going down. You can't sleep on it. You can't sleep on devices that are actually good. Like I said it before, and I think I say it again right now. People are going to trash the Xperia One Mark II just because they feel like it's overpriced when it costs less than the Galaxy devices. It's supposed to be 950, which means you're getting a 4K display, and that's for the non-Pro model. You're getting a 4K display right off the rip. That 120 hertz and all that stuff, that 90 hertz is cool and everything, but you don't need it, and you really can't tell too much. So I would definitely rather be able to watch 4K content on my phone because some people don't even have a 4K TV. So take advantage of it, man. I mean, they hooked up with Carl Zeiss right now, and honestly, behind closed doors, I seen some footage of the Xperia One Mark II versus the S20 Ultra, and I was extremely impressed. It actually beat up on the Ultra in some areas. So, but that's my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? So you do what you want to do, but I'm not sleeping on the Sony Xperia One Mark II, and I would gladly give them $950 instead of giving a trade in and $800 to a S20, the lowest price S20. Nah, can't do it. Post questions down below. So Marjan says I ordered a S20 Ultra 128 gig. Salute, congratulations on that. What's going on out there in the UK? What's good? Pixel 4 trash like your Eagles. Appreciate the comments. I guess I'm supposed to be stimulated by that, but hey, I guess if you think the Pixel 4 is trash, that's your opinion. If you think the Eagles is trash, it's your opinion. It is what it is. Uh, No, I haven't been on too long. I think I only been on for maybe 20 minutes. I don't know how long it is. I can't see how long I've been going. Oh, 19 minutes. Yeah, there it is right there, 19 minutes. Uh it's gonna be the first time in that chat is going fast. Let me see. This will be the first time in 10 to 12 years that I don't feel like buying a new main device. Yeah, I know how it is, man. I know how it is. I don't I think I'm getting kind of burned out on purchasing every Samsung device. But I feel like Tanner Does Tech, what's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat. I feel like if 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 people don't like something, like here's something that I've noticed. Um, here's what I've noticed. People are more drawn to things that they don't like than the things that they do like because they're so intrigued by air quote time drama. You rather be, and it's a shame, that there's a lot of guys that I say it like it is. Take it like it is, man. It's a shame there's a lot of guys, so-called men, that just feed that fire, man. They just keep going on and on about it. And I see some of these things that people argue about, and I'm just blown away. I'm like, come on, man, it's not that serious, man. You gotta let that go. I think in the US market, we're getting shafted with this 5G thing. So Eric put out a video about fake 5G. And yes, I watched it. I don't disagree with that. I mean, um I think it's more of a thing where people's like when I put out the video on the McLaren messing up, and people got offended by that immediately because they said, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Just return it. Just exchange it." This is things that people say because I'm not agreeing with what they're saying about something, and they would prefer for me to get on video, cuss, drink, trash something. It's just not my style. B. I mean, I'm not all Mr. Positive, all that kind of stuff, son. But I'm just telling you, the 5G thing is played right now. There's no real 5G. If you know, okay, so I've said this in another video, and I'll say it again in this video. If you bought the S20, which is the smaller variant, you're not getting access to the higher speeds of 5G down the line. But if you bought the S20 Plus and you bought the S20 Ultra, you will. You will get access to those down the line. But we really need to now think about when they do open that door and everybody's getting 2 gigs down. That 2 gigs is going to drop to like 300 or 200, which is still fast because the more people you get on the network, it's going to slow down. So I think people shouldn't even be thinking about 5G, air quote, 5G phones until at least another 2 years. Because if you consider what's going on right now with the 4G LTE, there's plenty of people out there who don't even get 10 megabits and they're on a 4G LTE device. I mean, we just getting played, man. In the US, we getting shafted. In your opinion, what's the best phone camera wise in comparison? Absolute best price. Man, that's just too hard to answer. There's too many phones out there to say this is the best. But if it's actually, I guess it's not too hard. The Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3a XL, if on the lower tier side, and the Pixel 4 XL and the Pixel 4 on the higher side. There you go. That's your answer. Because those phones are completely different in price, and I think they're crushing a lot of phones. There were some photos that came out recently of the Pixel 4 XL versus another device, and it crushes the device. Regardless of what people say, it's my personal opinion is I'll physically come sit next to people and take photos of the same thing with my Pixel 4 XL or my Pixel 3a XL, and I think I'll still beat up on some of these phones that's coming out. One thing I like about the S20 devices, which is the same thing I like about the Note devices, the front cameras can't, they're just really, really good, B. They're good. The front cameras are good. Samsung's camera game is not bad at all, but I still feel like it's more of a, if you don't think this 100 times zoom is a gimmick, I don't know, you got some issues. I don't know. It is what it is. You say whatever you want to say. But I feel like the 100 times zoom is just something to talk about if you're sitting in a room with people and, it's just something to talk about. That's about it. That's where it stops with me. But people who feel like something is not worth something, you got to buy it yourself. You got to buy. You got to buy some of this stuff yourself. You can only rely on tech reviewers is for so many things, man. Most of the tech reviewers that are out there, all this talk about the S20 Ultra, because that's what Samsung sent out to everybody. They sent everybody an S20 Ultra, and they told them, "Here's what you review. This is what you do." And a lot of times, you won't hear too many negative, or too many dislikes when you get something for free from certain people. Some people would just say, "Oh, this is the best," and then next year they're going to say the same thing. This is the best. This is how the game goes, man. This is how it goes. So I feel like if in fact I'm looking at this lady, I'm looking at the one. This lady just let her dog take a dump in my yard. Like I can't stand this neighborhood. People are so rude. Anyway, back to the stream. The you won't hear too many bad things about a phone from certain people, but the phones that here, look at it like this. Haven't you noticed that a lot of the phones that the people like, certain people in the tech world say it's trash. Certain people would say it's trash. I think the most notable, I mean, I hate to keep talking about these devices, but I think the most notable device that came out was the LG G8. The LG G8 is loved by pretty much everyone who touches it. Like everyone. I've never heard I've never heard a phone besides one other phone that I've mentioned a million times gets trashed so much, and it's literally better, in my humble opinion, than all of the Galaxy S10 devices. On backwards, man. That phone is killer. and people just refuse to acknowledge it. But I think what we're going to see here going forward, because the S20, those devices, I personally like the size of the S20 opposed to the S20 Ultra. The S20 Plus is actually a really good size too. That's middle ground. I mean, I think they did a good job. Now, again, be mindful. The the S20 phones are nice. I just don't feel as hyped because I think I heard somebody say it online or something. It's like there's already like it's hard not to say this. It's hard not to acknowledge it. How can you, as a tech reviewer, genuinely say you're super hyped about something? I think it was technically T. How can you say, and I kind of agree with him too, man. It's hard to get hyped about something that's getting hammered down your throat, and it's been 3 weeks. It's not even out yet. It's just not coming out, and all these things are, man. All these videos are coming out. All these videos coming out. You know, and you don't have it yet as a consumer or as a reviewer, and that's why I said in another video, just don't even bother chasing the views because you're not going to get the views that you probably deserve. Um, because of who Samsung sends the phones to. I'm not an influencer. I'm just a tech reviewer. Those other people are influencers because they look to them to tell everybody what to buy and what not to buy. That's ultimately what it is. Yeah. So respect the game and everything, but I'm not an influencer. I'm a tech reviewer, I guess, or just some dude buying stuff and putting it on the internet. I guess that's who I am. But yeah. So Soccer Star says S6 in 2020. That's a quick no. There are way too many phones out there that you can buy. If you're still using your S20 and S6 in 2020, then keep it if it works. But if it's broken, it's time to move on. Or if you're thinking about buying one, unless it's in your budget and you have a really tight budget, then okay, fine. But there are still way too many phones out there that are better than the S6 in 2020. I'm sure you don't got some. I'm sure you don't got. Wow. I'm sure. I'm just reading this as I see it. I am sure you got some views from the Z Flip. Uh, Not so much. And again, I didn't get the phone for views because I got it because I was totally interested in it. But um, I think it's more of a along the lines of if you're chasing a certain, if you're as a creator, if you're chasing views on YouTube, you should just give it up because the media, they get everything, and it's the same thing every year. Would you trade the Z Flip for the Ultra? No, absolutely not. Nope, nope. Post your questions down in the chat. I'll try to see if I can catch them if I see them. So do you think the LG G8 is your favorite phone? The LG G8 is one of my favorite phones. It's one of my favorite phones, not my favorite phone. It's one of my favorite phones. I got LG G8 yesterday, and I'm in love with it. Yeah, the LG G8 is a boss phone, straight up. Uh, it's a remarkable device. These people are posting like OnePlus in 2020 or so and so in 2020. That's up to you, man. I mean, it's up to you to say what something should be purchased in 2020. I think the Moto is coming from everyone. Yeah, I think Motorola is a phone that kind of a Motorola is like the company that just doesn't get all the respect, just like Sony and LG and Huawei. And there's so many companies. Let's just see it for what it is, man. The only thing people in the U.S. seem to focus on is Samsung and Apple. That's all people care about, and that's unfortunate because they're totally missing out on some great phones. Companies like Xiaomi, Huawei, Sony. I don't know what happened with Sony and U.S. carriers, but it totally just went downhill, went to crap, and they got off of carriers and they just stopped. It's just not doing. It's not doing anything anymore. The most there will be phones with Snapdragon 865s that are much cheaper. That's totally true. That's from Levon Kaysen or Kaysen. I hope I'm saying your name right. There are a ton of phones out there that are already less than everything that Samsung is offering with a Snapdragon 865. But the processor thing, man, the processor only means so much because of phones like when Google dropped this phone right here, everybody laughed and said, That phone's trash because it's got that 670 in it. Totally not trash. Totally one of the best phones that ever hit the market. But do you see a lot of people in the media doing reviews on it? They talked about it on the first week and then you don't hear nothing else about it. YouTube is a part of the problem of people only caring about Samsung and Apple. Totally correct. You are totally correct. Because now, if you notice, most of the marketing is done through YouTube. They give it to the people on YouTube who has millions of subs and tell them, here's a free product, say what you want to say about it, and here's some money. That's ultimately how it works. And if they're not getting any money, they're definitely taking the products every year. They're like the companies give the products to the same people every year, and it's just played out because they're. I think Trenton's right on with this one because they're totally making a mess of a situation that it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't try to use the same people every year. Like I like iJustine, right? I like her, but I mean, she's always going to feel like Apple is the best thing since sliced bread, almost all the time. Like it's not to like put her down or anything, but she's always gonna feel like that. MKBHD in the end, he pretty much likes iPhones and OnePlus, from what I could see. Everybody has their preference. So I mean, I always ask myself are these people genuinely using these phones for 6 months? And I think we all know the answer to that. The answer is absolutely not. A review phase comes in the life of the device, like in the next 3 months, you probably won't hear anything about the S20 line. Everybody's going to start talking about the Note 20 and the next phones that are coming. The iPhone is coming. It's the same rotation, but I stay in it because I really like the passion of tech, and I think that the you don't. It's nothing against the other reviewers, man. It's totally nothing against the media. I call them the media because ultimately that's what they are, and I feel like I'll probably never get 10 videos on the same phone out of anybody from the media. And if I do get that, it's going to be in the first 2 weeks of the phone's life. Like the S20, look at look at all the videos on the S20 Ultra from the media. I mean, I'm just saying I'm not saying anything that's not true. Look in your timeline and all these people that I'm not subscribed to are filling up my timeline because Google and or YouTube and they keep pushing it. They keep pushing it in my timeline, and even as content creators, some people can fall victim to just buying stuff they don't need. And I guess you got to get to the point to decide: is this really important enough to review? Because I'm going to have to keep it. Like when you're buying something, you should be buying it in the form of like I want to keep it. You know, you don't want to buy something because yeah, it's a revolving door. You're absolutely right. Um, I think there are a ton of companies out there who offer a whole bunch more for less. Uh, but that's not to take away from Samsung in any kind of way. I think they produce some great phones, but I don't think Dex is the future by any means. I see a comment there from somebody. I don't think Dex is the future by any means because Dex could be a inconvenience for a lot of people. Daily driver is the Pixel 4 XL and iPhone 11 and Pixel 3 XL. Those three devices are the dailies. Um, I mean, there's just so much area in the tech world, but I often wonder like why YouTube focuses solely on Samsung and Apple. Now I know those two companies have a bigger marketing budget than any of the other companies, but at the same time, are they am I live now? Yeah, you're watching me. Yeah, it should have had a little red thing next to you before you clicked on it. It said live. Yeah, that's funny. Um, correct. We don't, Belinda. We don't need 5G phones because 5G is underwhelming, just like 4G LTE. There are places right now that don't even have 4G LTE. So you think about how much, as a people, we're getting bamboozled. Um, and if in fact consumers keep financing phones on their bill, which again, it's just all a setup, folks, it's all a trap. You wouldn't swipe your card or you wouldn't go pull $1,400 cash out of your pocket, not even 700 cash out of your pocket for the majority of the world. They would not do that for a cell phone. So the trap is to get them to finance phones. which is why I encourage people all the time, live unlocked as much as you can. Do it as much as you can. Don't finance phones if you don't have to. And I'm not saying that it's a bad idea, but it's a bad idea. If you are not going to be able to pay cash for something that you want, you shouldn't agree to pay for 30 months, 36 months. If you do that, if you do that, make sure that you have the ability to pay it off within 90 days or, just somewhere along those lines, man. If you can live unlocked, you really should live unlocked. You shouldn't put yourself in debt for a cell phone. And some people think that they're not going into debt by putting it on their bill. I tell you what, do a little test. Finance a phone for $1,000 on your bill, pay the $30, $40 a month or whatever they're charging you for it, and then don't pay your bill and let your service get cut off. What do you think they're going to do with that balance? They're going to put it on your credit report. That's what they're going to do. So, I mean, I always advise people to live unlocked as best you can, man. What's your favorite brand and why? Favorite brand is BlackBerry, and I like BlackBerry OS. Another favorite brand is WebOS. I really like WebOS. I really operating system is definitely BlackBerry OS and WebOS. The Android comes third to both of those, but other than that, I like Blackberries. Payments equal debt. It's simple. That's true. There's no wrong. Jared is. I'm in total agreement. 5G. Like Eric put out the video on T-Mobile saying 5G is fake, and it's. I think it's not so much. I mean, yeah, I like the video. I don't. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's fake. It's just not ready. And in the millimeter wave, a lot of consumers don't even know what any of that means. They're just going by what the carriers say. AT&T put 5GE or something like that. I forgot what they put a long time ago. 4GE. I don't know what it was. But there is 5G speeds out there. But where is it at? Only in a few cities across the entire United States of America. Come on, man. I mean, it's a scam. It's just a way to pull you in and make you feel like to try to get you to thinking you're special and you got something that other people don't. More importantly, Verizon charges for their 5G. This is why companies like T-Mobile win. Their plans are the lowest and their speeds are just as fast. Even though none of these companies have real 5G active and ready for the world, um, T-Mobile's plans are always going to probably be the best and the lowest cost. And the thing about, I wanted to address that LG boot loop thing. I'll just say it doesn't exist anymore because people keep addressing that with me. LG, this, LG, the boot loop thing is gone. But as far as T-Mobile network, it's totally not like it used to be. And I've been with them for years. It's really solid. I mean, it's not a bad network at all. So the talk about Verizon being the best and AT&T is the best, that doesn't exist anymore. If Verizon is the best, look at your phone bill, son. Your phone bill is triple. I did it myself. 4 lines right now for me is $100. Unlimited everything. No caps, no nothing. Right? You try doing the same thing at AT&T and T and Verizon. One phone line at AT&T and Verizon is $100 or right at $100. It's a total ripoff. They're charging you for everything. They still have line access fees. AT&T and Verizon have line access fees. Why? What's the point of that? It's just a way to get money from you. That's it. That's all it is. If you can't make a choice uh, on your own or the right choice, whatever the right choice is that you think it is, if you can't make the right choice on making a smart choice when it comes to your cell phone bill, your phone that you're picking, I've said it before, do not only take about 1% of what I say, 1 to 5% of what I say, and use it as a decision maker for yourself. The other 95% or 99% has to come from you. I can review off, like the phone I'm currently messing around with, the Yumi Power 3. That phone's getting a lot of heat, but as soon as I put it up on Instagram, because I'm about to put it on Instagram for sale, watch how people flock to it. It's people already there now saying, I'll buy it. But the phone isn't bad. It's just that I think the marketing, yes, I'm totally looking forward to the Note 20. I see you right there, perp minded. Yes, the Note 20 is probably going to be a beast, and I can't wait. Ultimately, it's going to probably be just like the S20, rounded off now with an S Pen. Who knows? But I think ultimately people take everything that tech reviewers say to heart. Man, they believe everything they say. I look at some of the people online. They just not just tech reviewers, people, singers and stuff like that. They flock to these people and treat them like gods, and it shouldn't be like that. This should all be some form of entertainment. It's ultimately what it is, just some form of entertainment. I personally watch other YouTube reviewers, and I do that because I don't know everything, and I want to learn from other people, and I just want to see what their perspective on the same phones that I have. That's what it is. I have to. Media posing as everyday Joes. L Boogie, I totally agree. I totally agree. You know, I think I saw something like there's always a conversation about average consumer or techie. I would love to know why some of you people in the comments are watching this video would think you're an average consumer or a techie or just a regular person. Why do you think you're a techie? I have my labels on why I think some people might be techies, but that doesn't mean I'm right. No, tech enthusiasts, I would say. But I don't know, man. I feel like there are so many devices out there, and again, I don't make this stream. I'm not doing this live stream to say that Samsung S20 devices are bad in any kind of way. All I'm saying is there are better options, and there's always going to be better options, especially when you compare it to like iPhones and stuff like that. There's always better iPhones to buy. You can buy. I think one of the number one selling iPhones at the moment. One of. I'm not saying it's the number one selling iPhone, but one of the best iPhones that I would recommend to people right now is the iPhone 8 Plus. I would totally recommend this device. Look at how low the cost is, and now they're getting ready to discontinue it in September when this new iPhone comes out because they're going to bump the next iPhone up a level. You know how they do it. They bump it up. I think if you're looking for an iPhone, just because Apple is not going to get away with this. They fall in line just like Samsung with bringing out the same phone and just putting a different number on it. Consumers, and I'm not even going to say average consumers, 99% of consumers do not care what the processor is inside the device, nor do they know what it is. They just want to know that it works good. They can take pictures of their children or take pictures of themselves and all these other things. So when it comes to an iPhone, you don't have to buy the iPhone 11. You could get an iPhone 8 Plus. You don't need emojis and all that stuff because honestly, the software on it is flawless, just like all the iPhones run the same. Battery size sometimes really just doesn't overall the battery size doesn't matter on an iPhone because the software is optimized great. So it just works. You got good battery life on almost all of them, especially the bigger iPhones. Yeah, I'm going to praise more expensive one. I see a comment from Shy Saki. It says, when you have two identical phones in terms of specs, but YouTubers praise the more expensive one, you know what it's all about. That's what I'm saying. That goes back to the LG G8. You got a phone that's equally, and I go even further, son. The ZTE Axon 10 Pro. It actually crushes a lot of the phones that are in the same price bracket or more because it has the same specs and more specs. But people get this mindset of, I don't want to deal with them, I'm getting spied on, and all these other crazy things that they're thinking about. But we getting watched all day long, man. There's a ton of phones out there that'll get reviewed by. That's such a fantastic comment right there. And you know what? You have to be more aware of that when you're watching. That's why I always tell people, be sure and be mindful of who you're praising or who you're watching, because that comment right there from Shy Saki, that's a 100% true statement. Some reviewers look at the price on something and they automatically start to say that it's better. And I know this for a fact because people come to my videos and say, well, so and so said that this phone is better. This phone is better because it costs this. That's what they do. It happens all the time. Appreciate the super chat, Boss Joe's. Yeah, people do. I like the little. He or she is using that new setup for super chats. We can do a little icon thing in it. That's pretty boss right there. But some people are just looking at price on things and they're rolling with it. That's what it is. That's what they do. They look at the price on something, if it costs more. I've been hearing chatter online that some people are not even interested, or some people don't like the S20 Ultra's cameras. I've seen some chatter like that in some of my comments, and I'm curious to see how that's going to work. Malik, what's going on? Appreciate the super chat. I like the fact that reviewers recommend the S10 over the S20. Now, I haven't seen that one yet, but I'm pretty sure they might be doing it. Let me see. Belinda, let me see. I gotta pick this up. I can't see that. Did you change the Samsung launcher on the Z Flip? No, no, no. It stays the same. I like Samsung UI. Samsung UI was cool. I don't have, and again, if you just join in, you guys know me. You know, I don't have nothing against Samsung as a company. I think they make great phones. Thoughts on the Mate 30 Pro? It's a nice phone with awesome cameras, but should we buy it? I think you should buy whatever you have your heart set on buying. The Mate 30 Pro, obviously, I don't know where Kimmy's at. She's probably at work, but I'm down with anything Huawei just about, because their hardware is better in most cases, and the software is flawless, just like Samsung One UI. And then the cameras in almost all the situations are always better. But since they don't have the footprint in the US, it gets overlooked. It gets overlooked. That's what it is. The the thing with iOS just is so boring. No freedom. It's good in some ways, but I can't stand not having the freedom to set the phone up the way I want to. And that is something that a lot of people feel. A lot of people feel like that, man. No kidding. And I understand what you're saying. What will the next Galaxy phone be called? S21? I don't know. Yeah, the G8 is a fantastic device, man. It just gets overlooked. And again, I don't want you to come to my stream or watch my videos and think that I'm trying to put people down. That's not what it's about, B. This is my personal opinion and what I've experienced firsthand as a reviewer and just a regular person. I know that a lot of people, for a fact, take money to do reviews. Not the same money that I've taken to do. I mean, take money in a way that they're just going to say yes to whatever the company tells them to do. I've actually gotten trashed by a company. They were mad because they wanted to give me money for a review, but they wanted to control the review. And I told them no. So what I did was I went in and took all the videos down that I did for that company, even the ones that I didn't get paid for. I said, I won't promote you on my channel at all. I don't care about some measly $1,000 or something like that to do a video. It's not worth it if you want to try to control me. That's when it becomes a problem. You're not going to tell me what to say in a review. And again, I'm not saying that reviewers on YouTube are getting paid and controlled in that manner, but I'm telling you, I know for a fact that there are some reviewers that won't do a review. They want money every time. And if they don't get money every time, they'll trash it if they have to buy it. We witnessed this, I think, with HTC back in the day. When the HTC Ultra came out, they didn't give out any review units. And reviewers got that phone and trashed it. They trashed that device and just pretty much shut it down. Shut it down. That's what they did. That's what they did. And so what happens? People agree with them. People who don't know how to think for themselves agree with them, because there's absolutely no way, absolutely no way that the HTC Ultra was a trash phone. I don't see it. And the majority of people that actually use the phone, they didn't see it either. They knew that the phone wasn't trash. I think as a tech reviewer, reviewers owe it to you to at least revisit the phone. Now, if we're being honest, obviously I only have 3 full-time phone numbers, and I know you say only Jay, I only got one or I only got two. So those phones can seriously, I can give you a follow up on the 3A XL or whatever my other two main phones are. Those phones can get the real deal, but obviously I can't review 10 phones at once and give you a fair review. I have to actually be using it. You know what I mean? So following a phone's lifespan, like my 3A XL, I've had that. I love that phone. I don't just have it just for reviews. It's actually, there's phone calls, emails, texts. It's all being used like a regular device. And so to me, it's easy to follow up on that phone because I've been using it for almost a year straight. So that's an easy one. You know what I mean? So a review to me anything in the first 2 months or the first 30 days of a device, um, I'm gonna say that's probably just an overview. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what people are doing. They're doing overviews. They're not doing reviews. I don't look at it as a review because there's a software update hasn't even come yet in the first 30 days. Like there's a lot of phones out there. Like great example, the Essential phone. The Essential phone again is another phone that is absolutely fantastic. It got overlooked. It was ahead of its time. It had better hardware than everything that came out at the time. It was the first one to do that cutout at the top the right way. It was one of the first phones to do 4K on the front. It was one of the first for a lot of things. But what happened? The media got a hold of it, and because the price was higher than Samsung or right on par, it was still less than Samsung and iPhones and Apple phones, but they didn't like it. They were so mad about it, and they said, "We're not going to do but trash this phone." Well, when the phone dropped to 499 or whatever it was, and that price started to dip, oh, we better circle back around and review this phone again. That's all that happened. In the some of us kept the same Essential phone sitting up there right now, the same one, and I could fire it up and it's up to date right now. Now, unfortunately, Essential has thrown in the towel. Um, they threw in the towel. They said, "Hey, we're not doing too good. We don't, or we giving you 2 or 3 years, however long that old that phone is." I think it was totally worth it. You know what I mean? I think it was totally worth it in the end because you got to see who really does reviews. Like who in the right mind will follow somebody who trashes a phone in the first 2 days of having it or a month of having it, I say, and say it's garbage. Now, some phones are trash. Okay, let's be clear here. Not every phone is a good phone. Some phones you have to call them out like that. I do it from time to time. But there are way more good phones out there than there are bad. I would say, in my humble opinion, there really is. So when it comes to watching people do these reviews on the S20, I just kind of look at it. It's like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be the same old thing that I've seen this person doing. And again, I'm not calling any one particular person out. I mean, when I said iJustine's name earlier, that was out of love. You know what I'm saying? I actually rock with iJustine. I mean, obviously, she's extremely biased to iPhones and Apple, but I'm that way with BlackBerry. So if BlackBerry would have been hooking me up with phones over the years and stuff, who knows what I would be doing right now? Because if you remember me, my whole channel was about BlackBerry when it's in that time. The majority of my stuff was BlackBerry back in the day, and that's just what it was. I reviewed other stuff, but nothing was better than a BlackBerry in my world. The BlackBerry Passport was the top of the line because, in all actuality, nothing was better than the BlackBerry. And even today, there are still phones out there to me I think are not better than BlackBerry. The only thing that hurts BlackBerry is the apps. If they were to bring, and I know it's this phone out there. I've seen the phone, folks. I'm not buying it because I don't think it's going to be worth it. It's like the phone with Android, the rugged phone. They took the Passport's design, they put Android on it. You know what I mean? And then everybody's saying you should try this, Jay. No, I shouldn't try that because I got Android phones already. I'm looking for BlackBerry to come up with something new. I'm saying a BlackBerry Passport 2. You know what I mean? Something like that. So I'm not looking to keep buying a whole bunch of Android phones in different forms and factors. It's getting old. I mean, you can only do so much. At least those high price ones. I'm tired of doing that, man. It's getting played out. Chris, what's going on, B? So I'm rolling up on an hour here, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed um, the impromptu live stream. Just totally fired it up. I was testing out some new stuff, and I thank y'all for stopping by. Now I got to get some dinner because it's 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, and I'm not trying to sit up in here and I got a whole bunch of stuff to do. I'm working on some stuff, so you'll see some changes later on down the line, but nothing that you need to be concerned with. This is my personal life. So I appreciate you guys who took time out of your day for a few minutes to join me on the live stream. Just sitting downstairs in one of the recliners, just said, I'm gonna do a live stream. And that's what it is. So I'll try to maintain some level of consistency because I'm not willing to spend, and I'm just being all the way 100 because I'm tired of spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on one device. I'm trying to get back to the affordable stuff for you guys, man, to maintain some level of consistency. And that's what I plan on doing. There will be devices that come out, like I'm probably gonna get the Note 20 Plus or whatever it's called. The next Note, I'm gonna get it. I'm probably gonna get the new iPhone. These things are gonna happen. I do it every year. I love it. I love those devices, and that's just what it is. Everything in between that, undecided on whether I want to do it or not. So stick around here. Smartphoneconversations.com is the plug. You go to my website, you'll see my latest post. Um, Speak before I get out of here, the coronavirus. I posted, I was dealing with a company that everybody has dealt with at some point or another on their YouTube channel or just in personal life, Anchor. So Anchor didn't send me, they sent me something, but they sent it from their main warehouse, which is about 12 hours from where the coronavirus originated. And I wrote an article on the website, hit the website up, read the article, it's brief and to the point, and also posted some on Instagram. And a lot of you people, man, you experts come out there and start trying to tell a person what they should and should not do. You got to learn to respect other people's opinions. And this is where YouTube fails, and this is where social media fails. Nobody wants to respect anybody's opinion, and everybody wants to tell another person what they should and should not do. So ultimately, what I said was, I told Anchor, not this is 12 hours away from where the coronavirus had initiated, and there's a ton of people here in the U.S. who've been affected. Some people have died in the U.S. And all the experts come out and say, they started telling me stuff I already have read myself. But again, I don't believe everything I read on the internet, and I don't believe 99% of the stuff I see on TV. If in fact when I do watch TV, and you know, it's a personal choice. I choose to say, hey, send it from your Amazon warehouse, because there's an Amazon warehouse around the corner from my house, and I get everything same day or next day. With the drones and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. But I feel like this thing that this some people took that post where I wrote that on the website or posted on social media about the coronavirus. Some people took that way out of context. Oh, you overreacting. You doing this. Yeah, all right, man. If that's what you feel, respect. But why would you want to just take a risk just because somebody told you something? Just because somebody tells you, oh yeah, it dies after 30 minutes on the surface. It dies in 3 hours. It needs moisture. It can survive for this. Why would you just accept that answer? You believe everything the government says, man? Come on, B. I know some of you cats is young and you ain't lived yet. You still like 35, 40, but you gotta start thinking for yourself and you gotta make your own choices. You know what I mean? Make your own choices and decide for yourself. Don't believe in everything that everybody tells you on the first drop of a pen. See it for what it is. B. You gotta think for yourself. You really have to. And some of you guys have never left the US either. Some of you guys haven't traveled, you know. Hey, it is what it is. The post that I did on that, I didn't say people don't buy Anchor products. I just say, I would prefer they would have sent it, from the US warehouse. Why would you want to take any kind of risk like that? Some people, oh, you crazy, you overreacting. I'm overreacting. You go ahead and get stuff, and it's like, oh man, everything comes from China. A whole bunch of stuff comes from China. But folks, you got to wake up and make your own choices, man. You got to start thinking for yourself. Don't believe everything the government says. Don't believe everything the internet says. You know what I mean? Think for yourself for a change. That's what it is. Huawei Mate 20X speakers are louder than the S20 Ultra. Totally agree. The Ultra is a nice phone. I heard the speakers, but the Mate 20X speakers have two speakers. So before I get out of here, man, I appreciate y'all, man, joining in. If you would, I humbly ask for you to hit that thumbs up button real quick before you get out of here. Hit the thumbs up button on your exit. And I appreciate y'all sticking around for this 59 minutes and 20 seconds, 21, 22. Coming up on 1 hour flat, man. So I appreciate y'all. And I'm actually going to get out of here. I have a lot of stuff to do. And this was fun. I love popping up on streams, chatting with you for a minute about everyday stuff and everyday tech. So I think today is Wednesday. So it's going to be some streams going on tonight. You should navigate over there to those streams because I'm pretty sure they're going to be pumped. Take care, guys, and hit that thumbs up on your way out. If you hit the thumbs down if you want to, but hit the thumbs up if you had a quick hour of entertainment since you're just getting off work. And I'm gonna get out of here, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.